Jeff. Oh, no. Are you sure you want to do this? That's a recital's worth of instruments. And what? Are you crying?
Oh, no. Swanton bomb. Oh, my God. Harley, the back of his neck into the steel.
What's going on, YouTube? It's sensitive place to be chill. Mr. A&D. Better give you guys another Raw review for November 30th, 2020. The final Raw of November before we get into December. And yes, I still haven't got my Raw shirt, but I did get all my Hurt Business shirts. So we're starting out here with good old MVP. I'm digging. The MVP has to probably be one of my favorite ones that the Hurt Business has done. So, yeah, let's get into some Monday Night Raw here. So Monday Night Raw starts off with a moment of bliss featuring Randy Orton. Randy Orton is in there, and he was like, look, I don't understand you don't know anything like this, but me and Bray Wyatt got a history, and I had to figure out back in the day what was Bray Wyatt's weakness? What can really get to Bray Wyatt? Well, now since he did that already, now what is the thing that gets him to the Fiend? So, he says that he still hears the voices in his head and stuff like that, so him and Bray got a lot in common. But Alexa Bliss says the same thing about them. Then the lights start to go out, and then Orton's like, you see what I mean? But then Bliss says, you see what I mean? And then when the lights go out, Alexa Bliss is in Orton's arms. And so the question is, who's manipulating who? Because that's what Alexa Bliss is saying. So we don't know how deep this is going to go into the storyline. And then the Fiend comes out, and he wants Alexa Bliss back. So he holds his arms out, or gives it to him, and then runs out of the ring so Bray Wyatt can't attack him. So it looks like Orton has the upper hand on Bray Wyatt yet again. So the question is going to have to ask, like, when can Bray Wyatt ever get the upper hand on Randy Orton? So who's manipulating who? Where's Alexa Bliss fall into this? So we had to figure that all stuff out. So the rivalry between Elias and Jeff Hardy clearly is not done. I thought it was done with the guitar on the pole match. It's not. We got a symphony of destruction match between Elias and Jeff Hardy. The third of one that's been done. Braun Strowman has been the other ones where they got all the musical instruments around the ring, and they basically have a hardcore matchup. So the match was actually pretty entertaining. Elias has to go give Jeff Hardy a knee, runs to this big gauntlet they have outside. Then after Jeff Hardy goes for the Whisper in the wind, he takes the guitar, hits him in the legs, and takes it to staff of the guitar. He tries to stab Jeff Hardy with it. Jeff moves out the way, and Elias jams the staff into the amplifier and gets electrocuted a little bit. So I was like, oh, that's a little nice touch. I haven't seen that in wrestling in a while. So he gets a little electrocuted. There's right there where the superstars come in at with the steel steps, there's a table there. And in that table, Jeff Hardy sets up Elias right there, and it puts all these like ukulele stuff on him. Then goes to the top rope right there, the top ring post, and there's a swanton bomb. His head hits the back of the bottom of the steel steps. I was like, Jeff, that's too close. You're too old for this. He does a swanton off there, and the back of his head comes down on the steel steps. But thankfully, Jeff is okay. So yes, we have Jeff Hardy's all right. He wins the match. I thought it was a very entertaining match. We see Ricochet and going up against the Retribution again. This time he's going up against Slapjack, and this time Mustafa Ali's out there with him, and Slapjack picks up the win over Ricochet after some distractions by Mace and T-Bar and all of them like that, and he picks up the win here. So it's going to be one of the weeks where Ricochet tries to fight all of them off until maybe he tries to become a member of Retribution, which says he's not. Then maybe he goes to the Hurt Business. He probably won't, but that's what that was. Miz TV is here with Miz and John Morrison out there with Sheamus and trying to egg on Sheamus about turning on his best friend, how Drew McIntyre got all the gifts and Sheamus got nothing in return. And Sheamus said, that's the difference between me and you. I give a friend, I give him a gift, and I don't expect anything in return, which you really probably should if you're giving somebody else a gift. But if they try to have Sheamus turn on Drew McIntyre, and then Miz says, look, when I cash in the Money in the Bank, Morrison's the first one to get a title shot because that's what good friends do. Foreseeing some things, because obviously they're not the best friends. They're not the best of friends everybody may think they are, so they may end up for a split anyway. But then Sheamus gets a little pissed off with the Miz. They end up in a fight, but then the Miz overpowers him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, hit him right across the back. So now we have a tag team matchup player with Asuka and Lana taking on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the women's tag team champions. Obviously, this matchup is not really much of anything, but Shayna Baszler, Lana trying to outsmart everybody. Tries to pull Nia Jax over the rope. She got to botches that a little bit. And when we get back to the ring, Nia Jax tags in Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler goes for the Karabuta clutch on Lana. Asuka comes against the knee right to the back of the head of Shayna Baszler, and Lana pins Shayna Baszler. Like, pins her after just a knee in the back, because Shayna Baszler was one of the most dominant women in NXT, and then here comes Lana, just falls over on a knee to the back of the head and pins Shayna Baszler. Like, okay. I don't care too much about where the story is going or where it's headed, because I don't think it's going to be anything too good. I don't think the payoff is going to be satisfying. So it's time for the Hurt Business rivalry and the New Day rivalry to keep on going, because I do think that the Hurt Business and New Day are going to go at it at TLC. So we have Xavier Woods taking on Cedric Alexander. So Cedric Alexander said, you got lucky with Shelton Benjamin, but I'm not Shelton Benjamin. So he comes out from the gate very, very aggressive. These two have a really good matchup. Cedric hits a brainbuster out of nowhere, and then tries to pin Xavier Woods, and then Xavier Woods kicks out, and you can hear MVP say, "Yo, man, if you don't win this match, we're going to beat you." Okay, kind of like Sundom. So he goes diving to the outside to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods throws him into the barricade, and then he slides him back in, and then Xavier Woods takes time to get it back in the ring, but out of nowhere, Cedric gets a lumbar check on Xavier Woods and gets the pinfall. Now, Xavier's already celebrated. He's like, yeah, I told everybody. He actually walks away from the group, and MVP and Shelton Benjamin are looking at him in the ring like, yo, he getting a little ahead of himself. So I don't know what that's entailing. I hope that they're not trying to break up Cedric Alexander for the Hurt Business just yet. He needs to stay in there for a good amount of time before he's out on his own, like Randy Orton in Evolution, before he's able to do that. So I think, they're probably going to try to rope him back in some kind of way or something. I'm not necessarily sure just yet. We get backstage. Riddle is talking to AJ Styles about, why he calls him Skipper and stuff like that. And Almost, which is his bodyguards, and AJ's like, wait, you been talking to him? I told you I'll be talking to him. So we're getting ready for the sudden death triple threat match, which was going to be in the first place. So I don't know why that was a silly thing. But I think before this matchup, we get Dana Brooke taking on Reckoning, because Reckoning was the one that took out Dana Brooke from Survivor Series. Dana Brooke comes in there in a heap of thing, and like in the beginning of the matchup, Reckoning's mask falls off. So like, oh my God, it's Mia Yim, and I'm like, look, wrestling fans like myself, the ones who are out there watching, everybody knew it was Mia Yim. For the younger kids, for me and my son, who's not that stupid, okay? But for the younger kids who's like, okay, they probably see Mia Yim in NXT, or they haven't seen NXT at all. They just look at her as Reckoning. When her mask comes off, she can't. It's like they made it even harder for her to be Mia Yim on social media. Or if the kids go back and look at NXT, they're like, wait a minute, isn't that Reckoning? No, that's Mia Yim. So the whole thing was stupid. So Dana Brooke hit her with a roll up, and she won. And Mustafa Ali gets in there and says there is no room for failures on Retribution, even though they've been getting jobbed for a month. But okay, and then so I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be an out for Mia Yim to lead, because she don't need to be part of this crap. She does not. Actually, none of them need to be part of this crap. But if y'all was gonna book it right, it'd be something different. But now I don't know what's gonna be happening necessarily with Mia Yim. Triple threat match: Keith Lee taking on AJ Styles, taking on Matt Riddle. Good triple threat matchup here. All three of these guys, like I said, all have indie background, so this matchup was going to be good. Back and forth action here. Riddle springboards, dives into Keith Lee and AJ Styles on the outside, and then we get back into the ring. There's an exchange between Riddle and AJ. Is pretty good. Then Keith Lee gets his licks in, but then Riddle kicks Keith Lee in the head. He rolls outside the ring. AJ has a phenomenal forearm on Riddle, pins him. AJ is going to go against Drew McIntyre at TLC, so that should be a decent match, depending on what the stipulation of the match is going to be. Miz wants AJ Styles' help. Also, this happened, I believe it was either before or after the match. I'm not to say shook. I know I'm a little out of order here, but he tries to give him a peach pie because he's from Georgia, and he was saying, to help him out to cash in the Money in the Bank against Drew McIntyre. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, I'm surprised you said yes so quickly, because he said, well, look, if you cash in and win the belt, well, then you're going to be easier to beat at TLC than Drew McIntyre is going to be. And then Morrison kind of sounded like, he's like, yeah, he's right. And I was like, whoa, okay, so we planting some seeds here. So I figured that's pretty cool. And then Riddle's in the back talking to MVP that he has more, ideas for him and, about the munchies and stuff like that. But then I like how Bobby Lashley attacks Riddle for, attacking him because, MVP came at him for losing his qualifying matchup, but he also came at Lashley for losing last week also. So Lashley comes and beats him up in his greatest Christmas party suit and attacks Riddle. So that looks like that's going to be a matchup, maybe going to TLC. I do like the Hurt Business as a group getting involved in more rivalries than just one. We got the Riddle one with Bobby Lashley, but then we also got the tag team one with the New Day. So I really think that could be that's an awesome dynamic. I like seeing kind of things like that. Main event time, we have Drew McIntyre and Sheamus taking on Miz and Morrison. Drew McIntyre comes out first and then gives an interview about how he said what he's going to do. He was going to beat Randy Orton, and now he went on and took Roman Reigns to the limit, even though that he cheated. And then Sheamus comes out and we get Miz and Morrison. Sheamus takes the majority of the heat for this matchup. I do like the double steamroller where he has Morrison on his shoulders and his steam rolls over on Miz. Goes for the tag for Drew McIntyre, get the hot tag. But then things start breaking down, and then AJ Styles out of nowhere hits McIntyre with a phenomenal forearm. So he's telling Miz, cash it in right now, we got him. And then John Morrison gives him a starship pain, and then Miz gives him a skull crushing finale. So he's like, go ahead and do it. But he's like, no, I don't want to do it. He's hesitating because he knows why should I trust AJ, because AJ's going to try to beat me for the title and all this stuff like that. But then as Miz gets ready to try to cash it in, McIntyre sits up, tosses John Morrison over the ropes, then gives Miz a Claymore kick and stares down AJ Styles. And then AJ's backing up and flips over onto Almost's arms, and he's like, "You're lucky he got me, because it was gonna be old for you." And then like he's talking all this stuff as Almost is carrying him back in his arms. It is hilarious. So I would like to see more kind of comedy stuff like that out of AJ. But that was Raw for you guys. Raw was an average show. It gets a slight pass, like a C- in my personal opinion. It wasn't that bad enough to give it like a failing grade, but it's just average. Ain't nothing really happened, nothing really popped off or nothing like that. But that was my review of Raw. So guys, post out in the comments down below how you guys feel about Monday Night Raw. If you guys enjoyed the stuff, what you guys enjoy about. I know everybody's really hype about getting ready for War Games, stuff like that, and I know I am as well. So post out in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. Hit the subscribe button for more wrestling content right here on Nerd Coalition Studios. So once again, it's NC Place to be. Channel Trainer Mr. AD, and Nerd Coalition is out.